Curbside carts. Did you ever have a position on curbside carts?
I do have a position on curbside carts. I think it's a ridiculous policy, but unfortunately they have already spent the money. We already have the carts. So what I would like to do is to go and review it and see if we can find a way for the people who don't want it to opt out. And those who are happy with it, keep it. Because we've already got the trucks, we've already got the carts. You know, if they want it, keep it. If nobody wants it, then nobody gets it.
You're talking about the trash?
The trash carts.
Trash carts. Yeah, they're taking up.
We already paid for it.
It's already paid for. I mean, I think it would be kind of a waste of money just to throw it out.
No, we can use it for recycling.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, proper recycling.
But I mean, I just would like to, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I have the answer, but I would like to look at it.
Well,
and find a good solution for everybody.
And this is for all you guys. All of you might be able to answer this to some capacity. How are they deciding who gets them and who doesn't? Easements or what?
Well, what they're saying is that it's the houses that don't have an alley at all, houses whose alleys have a dead end or are too narrow for the trucks, and that they're having to get off on people's property and things like that.
Sure.
And one of the things that they said about the cart program that I actually really detest is that, I mean, on the surface it sounds good because the people who can't physically take their carts to the curb, that they'll come and get them from, say, beside your garage and take them out there, but they're going to charge you like $30 or more a month, depending on how long your driveway is. Now, the people who can't take their carts to the curb are your elderly and your disabled. So we're going to charge the people who can least afford it more money to get the help they need.
Yeah.
And the reason that they gave for it was to pay for workman's comp. Don't they already have workman's comp?
Sure.
So
can they do an application to be exempt?
I don't know that they have that now, but yeah, I don't think they have it.
But that can be done.
But that's something that I'd like to look at and see if we can make it so that it's better for everyone, because I've seen some houses that don't have the alleys, and I could understand after looking at them, grasp why they might want the garbage. I can get it. If they were putting a bag on the side of the street, okay, I can get why the cart would be better than that. But if you're taking the dumpster away and giving them a cart, you know, that's kind of like, I mean, I've lived in towns where had the trash cans and stuff before, and I moved out west, and I saw that Tucumcari had it and Amarillo has it, and I thought, this is fantastic. I love the dumpsters. And now they want to me, it's regressing back instead of moving forward.
May I make a comment? The city came back on their comment, and Eddie Sauer backed off on being made aware that the city was not using those three. They were using easement as another definition.
Yeah.
If your alley is not an alley but an easement, they will still put you on a cart system, because an easement gives authority to the property owner to move into the easement area. And that is what Floyd Hartman is using as justification. Even though you have a wide easement, right, they will still put a car in your house because they have segregated that part of their city.
Well, I personally think that they're really what they really want to do is give it to everybody.
Yes.
Especially after at the High Plains Republican Women's, Ginger Nelson was asked about it, and she says, well, you know, if in 2045 everyone has these cards, then maybe you can come back and tell me that I was wrong. Why would she even suggest that if she wasn't planning it? So, I mean, I think that's what they're going to find little excuses over and over time and give them to everybody, is what I think they're doing. I can't prove it, not yet.
Well, they have rules and regulations that they're going to enforce with ordinances to make certain that the person puts the card out the day before or the day of trash collection, and in the morning after has to bring it back to wherever they're going to store it. I've already seen it in the neighborhoods where they're leaving them out on the curb, and they are not going to follow the rules in the less cooperative neighborhoods. They're going to have a lot of trouble with these carts not going where they're supposed to go. And I don't think they can enforce any ordinances in Amarillo, Texas. So you have to have, as a candidate, I think you better look at ordinance enforcement in Amarillo if you're going to create something, make certain you can enforce it.
I agree.
I hope you as candidates will look at
Thank you,
that.
Mr. Reader.
Thank you.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, I've got one of those trash carts, and I hate it. But we've got that our block or our strip down through there, our street. They went ahead and they pulled all of the dumpsters out. There were dumpsters that were on the side streets, and then the main street through there, it was all curbside pickup. So there was a man that was going to run for place 2. His name was John Adair. His name is John Adair. And anyways, they came and they pulled John Adair's dumpster behind his house. There were all of these mattresses, building material, and tires and all that stuff piled up back there. So he called the city. He said, "Hey," he said, "this stuff was left when they pulled my dumpster. What do we do about that?" And the city told him, said, "It's your responsibility to move that stuff out there, or you're going to be fined for it." So it's not just as easy as the dumpsters leave and you get a trash cart and everything. There is all of this huge, copious amount of mess. We're talking about 12,000 trash carts, and these 3 phases that they're talking about right now that they've got planned. So you're talking about 12,000 trash carts, which represents 12,000 water meters, and all of these dumpsters behind these properties that have stuff piled around.
Yeah.
And so the city is going to penalize those people for having that stuff on their property when it's not even their stuff.
Yeah.
So
After promising.
Well, you
after
mentioned-
promising to pick it up.
You mentioned that you actually have one. Is there a number system tied to your address somehow? There is. So is it your address on the container?
That's tied to your water meter. So they actually have a barcode on the trash cart that's tied to your water meter. So if something happens with your trash cart, that say your neighbor steals your trash cart or whatever, they can come with their scanner and scan it, and they know who it belongs to, or I guess if it's involved in a homicide or something.
If it blows down the street.
What I'm getting at is I wonder if something happens to your container, are you responsible for, replacing it yourself?
I've heard so many different things. I've heard
Yeah.
that they provide you with one, and then the replacement is on you. But then at the meeting that they had the trash being over there, they said, "Oh no, no, no." But then my wife, when they were putting the trash carts out, the gentleman that was putting the trash cart out, he said, "We only provide one. From there, it's on you." So I don't know what's the life expectancy of a plastic trash cart camera all the
That's a
time.
mess.
Definitely.
May I make another point?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I talked to the city, and the city said they will provide an additional trash cart if you can prove you have a need for it. The city will provide you with 2. I talked with a guy out of Canyon where they use the trash carts. He uses 3. I said, "Did you have a dumpster there?" He said, "Yes, we had a dumpster, but the city forced us into trash carts. Now the cart man has to pick up 3 carts in front of my house, whereas before he was picking up 1 dumpster for 4 houses." The practicality for council members would be, it's a dishonest savings to go to curbside cart with the argument that the alley can't be dealt with, that they don't have alleys, and that they have the dumpsters out on the curb. They used to have right loading trucks, and they moved to left loading trucks. That was in the early days when they got rid of the garbage cans. They went with right loading carts, so they were loading off the curb, following in the traffic flow. They went to the left loading, which made them compromised to cut across traffic. So I hope you guys will bring it up that this sanitation guy is selling our council members a bill of goods.
Don't worry, we will.
I hope that will be in your campaign, that this is some of the nonsense with the truck not being able to go down the alley and pick up the trash around the dumpster. That nonsense, where they're supposed to pick it up on the curb, they're not doing it.
In regards to the trash carts, I disagree with them. I think that was a huge waste of money. I think that there's a small portion of the city that has the curbside service, and I think that those are probably the only people who would benefit from that. From what I'm understanding, the reason behind the trash carts was because there was arguments between neighbors as to why do I have to have the dumpster in my front yard? It looks ugly. I feel that a different approach could have been taken there, such as, hold several town halls and discuss, what the real issues were, get down to the root of it, and come with solutions. You know, there's plenty of statesmen in this city that could have come with solutions as to what we can do other than just taking on this huge expense to get all of these trash carts. From what I understand after reading the articles and getting feedback from the department head of sanitation, they do plan at some point to implement these all throughout the city. That is their plan. I was told that by Raymond Lee. And, you know, that's a problem because we're used to our dumpsters. People from other cities, I see them comment online and they say things like, we have these here and they work out just fine. Well, when you're used to a big dumpster and you live in Amarillo, Texas, we're a different breed here, you know. To rip our dumpsters away is a lot. And we're the people who have to live with that every day. So that was a situation among many that I think that this mayor and city council have jumped the gun on. You know, they got the cart before the horse on that decision.
Well, one thing I would like to ask on that, no one's taking into consideration all the jobs that are going to be lost, you know, in that department, driving those trash trucks. Right? How many jobs are going to be lost? You know, I haven't even heard that come up on, you know, in the news or anything like that. And so that might be a good point for you guys to bring up to some capacity as well. So one of you guys might know this. I don't know if we're a charter city or not. And from what I understand, with charter cities,
we're a home rule municipality is what we are.
Okay.
What? A home rule municipality, that's what we're considered.
Okay. I just didn't know which one we were. The way I understand it is when you're a charter city, you can actually set your own salary however you want as a city official. Not you guys, but you know, those folks up there. Yeah. So.
Well, that might be the case because if you guys have seen some of the salaries of these department heads, it's a little excessive.
It's a big stretch.
It really is.
It's a big stretch.
You know, the situation with the trash carts, I feel that was implemented so that they could charge more fees. If you guys look up what San Antonio is doing right now, it's called pay as you throw. And there's just this, I don't know, 3 or 4 phase, I don't know a lot about it, I researched it a little bit. But it's this 3 or 4 phase program where they give you the trash card and then it's another thing and then they give you a recycling card and then they expect you to sort out your trash. And if you don't sort it out the right way, then you get another fee on your bill. And if somebody comes by and dumps something in the wrong container, you know, somebody just driving down the road, people do that here. That's a big deal here, the illegal dumping. Somebody's trash can next door is full, so they go throw something in your recycling bin because yours is full also, or whatever the situation may be. This is, you know, Mike could probably tell you more about it than I could, but it's basically a way for them to make money, to make more money on top of everything
The bill's
else.
going to go from, right now we pay $15, I believe, for solid waste. In San Antonio, it's almost $80 if you don't sort your trash. And I think the big picture here is, and we've talked about this, she knows, is that this is their plan B if they put that tax cap in place. Because they're going to lose millions. So this is their replacement for that tax cap.
Trash carts, you know, I don't think that they're practical due to the conditions of the weather here. And I don't think that it was more efficient by any means having to stop at, you know, 3 times as many houses rather than, you know, 3 houses sharing a dumpster. Now we've got to stop at every single one. And now
you
we're
have
out
to
in
go
the middle
2
of the
directions.
street.
You have to go down one side of the street and come back the other side of the
Right.
street. Whereas in an alley, you pick it up one way.
Right, and
It's
as
a more
far as
efficient
the easement thing is concerned, I did hear that conversation, and I'm going to call baloney on that. They've been doing it all these years. They just want to find a reason to implement the trash carts throughout the city.